welcome back to Fair City Gaming. I'm your host Kev, and we are back with some more Dark Souls. So this is going to be a bit of a wrap up of some of the side quests that are left to do. We have completed all but one of the main bosses. So for now, all we need to do with the main story is to beat the last boss. But we want to make sure we wrap up as much of the side quests as we can before we do that. So she's no longer here. That's fine. That means got to go to Blighttown. Everyone loves Blighttown. So, as far as I can think offhand, we've completed Solaire's quest line. So just now we're going to go rescue... We're going to go check up on our onion friends. That's Siegmeyer and Sieglund. We're going to bypass as much of this area as we can. This next area is a little bit unforgiving and we don't want to waste too much time getting to it. We've chosen not to advance the Pyromancer Laurentius's questline. One of the few that I really can't stand killing. Someone spotted us. Huh. Why is he still here?
Poison swamp.
Oh, I didn't see him in Izalith, that's what it is. Ah, bugger. Well, since we're back here then... We'll go check in with our friend up in the parish. So we rescued her in the last episode. She was stuck down in the Tomb of the Giants. And if you advance through 2 more main areas in the game, she'll be assassinated.
Hello. I will never forget what you did. I am deeply indebted, for it was not within my power to save Vince or Nico. I cannot thank you enough. In case you have not heard, I am Rhea of Thorland. I only wish there was some way I could help you. But I am inexperienced and I only know the art of miracles. If that could be of any help, speak to me again.
Absolutely no use to us because we're so level 1 and can't do any of that.
Would a miracle be of any help to you? I would be most pleased if that was so. May we discuss miracles then?
So she's your way of joining the Way of the White, as well as our friend Petrus down the stairs. We're going to go see him in a minute. So if you buy all of these, and she survives her assassination attempt, she actually turns up in the Duke's archives, fully hollowed.
Vince and Nico were fooled by a lout named Patches and turned into hollows. My prayers did them no good. It is my ignorance, my frailty that has sealed their fates. Perhaps Petrus realized my weakness all along, and thus made the decision to abandon me. I can hardly blame him now.
Treacherous fool.
Vince and Nico were fooled, and that I can then be safe.
So through dialogue, you find out that it is Petrus who betrayed them, left them to die down there, and that he really just doesn't like Rhea or the noble line she comes from. And once she's been assassinated, if you then kill him, you discover her items on him.
Ah, oh, you. Have you seen Milady? Oh, blast, where might she be? And would she be safe? Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I lose myself.
No talk option.
Oh, sometimes I lose myself. Let me know.
He's not terribly dangerous.
By the Lords! No! This can't be.
And that is the only way to keep her alive. We now can't buy all of her items, but we had no reason to do that anyway. So now we have to return to Lost Izalith. Unfortunately, the quickest way of doing that is back at the Daughter of Chaos. A lot of people choose just to kill the NPCs. I prefer not to. Serves no real purpose. Unless they have specific weapons or armor or whatever that you want. Change my ring. If I get all the way down here and find that he's not here, I'm going to be very annoyed. Solare's moved on. Now, as we've seen before, we don't have to fight this guy here, but if you try just running past them, there's a very, very good chance you're just going to get sideswiped. And he hits very hard, especially if you're such a low level like we are. See up. Unfortunately, we're going to have to take care of some of these guys. Fire everywhere. That was close. You can very faintly see that the colouring of the floor is different there. Don't be tempted to run off into the middle. They can eat you. You don't want that. There's my boy. Don't need that. Strangely enough, they can be poisoned, even though they're standing in a poisonous swamp and not currently being afflicted with poison. There we go. Keep hitting that same one. Really don't want to fall down there quite yet. Goodness. This is a lot easier if you pick up the binoculars in the graveyard. What was that? There. It'd be a lot easier if you could actually target them from here. Change back to that ring. Sleepy boy sleeping once again.
Oh, excuse me, I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away. Must be the warmth. Well, what's on your mind? No, don't tell me. Those monsters making life difficult for you? You need not be ashamed. We're all in the same boat, you know. I really have run up quite a debt to you. Perhaps the time has come. Friend, I have an idea. A good one, really. I will rush those dire fiends, and you can slip away in the confusion. Please, friend. I owe you much more than this. By the honor of the Knights of Katarina, allow me to assist you. And now, I go. Don't be slow. Come on! Over here, you! Get it! Out! Because I am
Oh.
Fire of Katarina, and you shall feel my wrath!
We'll just pick these up since we're here. Now, it's not a terribly difficult fight, but it is very easy to get overwhelmed, and if you don't have that rusted iron ring on, you're going to be slowed right down.
Why, you! Didn't you get away? Well, you saved me once again. Dear me, what can I say? I have failed you.
You never failed me, friend.
My dear little...
Well. So there's two potential outcomes there. If you manage to defeat those beasts before he takes 50% damage to his health, he survives. And you find him at the bottom of a secret area of the game. And his daughter has had to put him down because he's turned hollow. Actually, I don't think I can remember him ever actually dying on me before. Disappointed. No matter. Now I could just homeward bone out because it would just take us to the last bonfire. I wanted to just illustrate the way out just in case anyone watching didn't know. There we go. Right. Homeward. So back to the Daughter of Chaos. Run right through to the other end of Blighttown. Such a long way to go. So we'll not bother changing any of our equipment up and we'll just make a run for it. I might actually stop off at the bonfire in the middle just in case. So it would be really annoying to get just about there and die. Although I think that's likely. As usual, we'll throw a summon sign down while we're here. Just on the off chance anybody's looking for some jolly co-op. At soul level 1, as I've said before, you'll not get much of that. Still can't get over the fact that I failed to save them. Most of them would have died within 1 to 2 hits. It's really quite bummed me out. Now, if you don't have the ring, the rusted iron ring, it's much more worth your time to try and take it slowly and get to the little islands. Try and avoid being poisoned. With the rusted iron ring, you're able to maneuver as if on normal land, so you're not slowed down in any. So you don't have to worry too much. Poison's a little more than an annoyance anyway. One that we're not quite ready to cure. Oh well. Thank you. A dead end that leads to a chest. And some juicy loot. You'd be forgiven for thinking, that's it. One of the very few instances of an illusionary wall behind an illusionary wall. Now for one of the most frustrating areas in this game. Now, you're generally meant to walk your way around the winding paths, and actually we'll go back up because there's a nifty ring back there I'd like to have. This place is full of those crystal lizards, but it's almost impossible to get to many of them unless you know... Oh no! Unless you know exactly where you need to be going to get to them. I have fallen and can't get back up. Camera is your enemy here. But it will conspire to kill you at any opportunity. Every opportunity. Seems that going back up is no longer an option. Downwards it is then. Now there are spells, well, one spell in this game you can use that completely removes fall damage. We got lucky there. Or did we? A homeward bone it is. Did I light that bonfire? I hope I did. That's okay then, right. Excellent. The downside to using the shortcuts in this area is you are very likely to die. User beware. This one. There it is. Whew. Now that Chloranthe ring acts just like our Grass Crest shield and replenishes, increases our stamina regeneration speed. And we want that because the more stamina, the more attacks you can do, or roll away, or just actions you can do in general. There's a trio of those crystal lizards there, but they'll disappear long before you get anywhere near them. And they're off. They're basically there to trick you into chasing them. Honestly, their loot isn't really worth it. I think a couple of them can rarely drop chunks, like the standard Titanite chunks. Within the main game, unless you're looking to upgrade multiple weapons, there's ample ways of getting them. Oh dear. Another reason that many people hate this area? Basilisks. Now you can find yourself tangled up in these very annoying tree branches, and if you get stuck, there's a very good chance that they will petrify you or curse you. You don't want that. Instant death, snatch you in everyone else's world for them to laugh at you at. It's not good. Sure it was there, obviously not. So because of the location of those branches, quite often you find the camera moves without your action. And it's led to so many deaths. More than I care to admit. Gotta rely on some clever drops to get to some of these items. I do not know how I survived that. Retreating so I can heal. Unlike the ones in the forest, these little mushrooms are instantly hostile. But they're not the worry. It's the big one that is. Though the little ones aren't without threat. They'll never do, or I've never seen them do more than 2 of those. You don't want to get hit by either one though. 1, 2, bail out. 1, 2, bail out. 1, 1. Ah, roll the wrong way. And that is why you don't want to get hit by one of them. How infuriating. Serves me right for messing around with them. Right. You want to tackle these drops on as high health as you possibly can. Don't take them on low health. And if you're not sure you can make a drop, chances are you can't, so don't do it. Though your character's not as breakable as you may think. Now of course you can actually come to this area from the very beginning of the game. But without the Lord Vessel's ability to teleport or warp between bonfires, you're facing a horrible climb back up. So even... that was foolish. Even experienced players generally don't bother. I mean, there's some cool loot down here. For the most part, it's a wasted journey unless you're chasing a specific goal, which will be why most people will come down here. And we'll soon see what that is. Because this time I'm not fighting with the mushroom people. They do very, very rarely drop the lightning or the lightning buff for your weapon, which is... which pine resin is it now? I can't remember what it's called. A yellow pine resin anyway. And it is invaluable. But it's rare. It's just not worth it. Someone once said to me the music in this place doesn't start until you look up, but I'm not buying that. So you may also remember in the last episode I had said to remember a view. Well, this looks very much like that same view. So now we can relax. At least a little bit. Keep that on because I have a funny feeling we'll need it. So this Hydra is a much stronger version of the one we faced in the basin. Oh, you generally don't want to miss those. Don't lock in. Close. That served me right. Okay, this time. Cameras and janky with me. Two of them hit me there. Come on. Thing's taking the piss now. Don't get too far away. Come on. Rock. Piss poor. Damn it. Oh. How infuriating. So close. Oh. You actually may have noticed there that one of the heads actually glitched under the surface there, and there was no way for us to hit it. It's very annoying when he does that. Where are you going? There he is. Dragon skill for him, and dragon skill from that. There's a lot of dragon scales littered throughout this area. And that's basically just because as we saw in the opening cutscene, the ancient dragons, lived within the arch trees. That's what these are, the arch trees. So these obviously have a huge connection to that. Careful walking on the beach. There's bottomless drops plenty. And our favourite enemies from Crystal Caves. They still drop the same nifty loot from time to time, so they're worth killing. If I remember correctly, there's another dragon scale down there. Yep. Again, be very careful here. One more step and you're gonna fall. So that's the tree that we came down in the Great Hollow. There's no reason to think that they're all more or less the same. It's pretty cool. Now in there are some more mushroom parents and basilisks, because, you know, who doesn't love a double team? I'm going to show you the way in. Not going to go in there though. Camera did that thing that it likes to do. I'm just gonna bail out here. Whew. Played a dangerous game there, don't do that. Now, to get inside there, if you drop down there, you know what, well, let's go for it. Not much room for error there. Great magical barrier, yes. It's a great spell. We can't use it. We're not hanging around in there either. So we continue on. One more clam to fight in this area. You may have noticed I'm being very, very cautious, but as you may also notice, I don't have any Estus left. Just out of reach. To die now would be heartbreaking. From so close. But for now, like from here on, the only thing that can kill us is our own stupidity. And behold, one of the greatest secrets in the Dark Souls game. A secret bonfire inside a secret area. An everlasting dragon just for extra surprise. And a hidden covenant. Completely passive. Can't kill him, but you can attack his fluffy tail and get a cool sword. But he remains completely passive. Completely. You can still join his covenant. So we're going to leave off at Firelink. And we'll do one more Secrets of Dark Souls, I guess. So there's one more boss that we need to go fight. So for now, I've been Kev, and this has been Fair City Gaming. Be sure to check us out next time. Goodbye.